Testing.
Check.
1, 2, 3.
Sportsland Yamanashi is the track I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Virtual Drift Masters. I am Tiny, and I'm here with Jake, and we're out here at Finland and the virtual side. Apologize for all the technical difficulties, but Jacob, what do you think, man?
Excited to be here, man. Feels good to be here. Ready for this track. It's going to be exciting. Get a little bit spicy.
Ooh, spicy. I love spicy.
Yeah,
we have a bunch of drivers out here. The layout of this track is actually very technical. You're gonna have a lot of clutch manipulation, throttle management. Like, it's really technical course for some of these drivers that even in the qualifying section, our cutoff point was about 88 points, 89 points compared to the previous rounds. We had some cutoff points that was 90 points and 93 points. It's insane. So, Jacob, when we were watching the whole practice session, what was the one point of this track that you noticed that, hey, there might be a choke point or a struggle?
I think that's going to be the last wall. The last wall or the first wall. The last one, you definitely have to kind of ease up on your angle to make it through, and some drivers did that more than others. If the lead's not as fast as they should be through there, or as fast as the chase is expecting, then it's going to get a little bit spicy.
Yeah, it's very tricky, especially in the chase. There's some points that where they have to dive in to that inner clip, and you have to get some forward bite so you can actually touch it and fill out that zone. Going into the other layouts of the track is going to be more fluid and nice and buttery smooth that I'm going to see for these guys. But the bracket, I am seeing some faces that maybe actually I'm seeing some names that some people probably have never heard of or haven't experienced it if they had never been in the virtual side. So one of the first guys that it popped in my mind is seeing Randy Noah out there with Nick Hang. That's going to be an awesome battle. Randy Noah actually drives in the Florida area, so I've had the opportunity to see him and commentate some of his runs. He's a really good driver. He also, I believe, competed in clutch kickers back in the day. So we also have Lukasz Pasquini, which is another driver. Yeah. That is insane. But we're gonna have our first battle. It's gonna be Joachim versus Steve Hatcher. Let's see how they perform out here. We're in Finland, getting ready. Joachim coming in with a nice initiation, left foot braking to ride that wall, but Steven had a big bobble on that initiation. Now he's trying to dive into the pocket, give it some tire rub. Steven's actually struggling a little bit to be smooth and consistent in the chase, but Joachim is going all the way around the track, doing a fantastic lead. But in the chase, it looked like he was in a struggle. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, a little bit of struggle at the end here.
Yeah, on the guys that are going to be coming back up, and it's going to be Joachim is now going to be in the chase, and Steve Hatcher is going to be in the lead. We'll see how these guys hold up. Steve is going to be the Canadian coming out here. Maybe he'll put some maple syrup on the track so he could get more grip. No mercy. Here we go. We're waiting for the lights. Steve is in the lead. Joachim is in the chase with that RX-7 coming in. A real nice initiation for both of the drivers. A little wall tap from Steve Hatcher as he gets all the way through that first outer zone, diving into the inner clip 1, all the way to outer zone 2. Use some left foot braking to stabilize that car, and then snapping transition on that outer zone to the final 2 outer zones. But it looked like Joachim almost over rotated, but he was able to stick it to him.
Yeah, that's that last zone that I'm talking about, where it can just be a little bit tricky. It looks like dives in here. Steven Hatcher's right on the wall, and he's right there with him. Looks like the chase is doing a great job of keeping up here. Perfect onto that wall. thing through this section, but then as the last wall comes, it looks like he just sends it a little bit too hard, over rotates, and Steven pulls away from him.
Yeah, well, we're going to see what the judges are going to be saying on this. We have the BMW versus the RX-7. What do you guys think in chat? Who do you believe is going to move on? I could say who it is, but I'm just a commentator. I don't know if I would like take my vote on there. But there we go. Slide him to the right for Steve. Slide him to the left. And
pretty instant decision.
Like Steve gets the win. It moves on. Next, we have our battle. Alan Hines versus Nico Stella. Nico is an absolute class act in the sim community as a driver. He's actually like one of the demons out here that just shreds that car. And then Alan Hines also competes, and he is an absolute animal. We'll see him how he performs out here. The Irish going against Nico Stella, Spaniard. Alan Hines in that S chassis. That's 15 coming in with a nice big flick into that first outer zone. And here's Nico Stella going right to the door of Alan Hines and just diving right into the pocket. Alan Hines is just filling out the zone, being unfazed by Nico Stella. Used some left foot braking to hold that angle and then just hucking that car all the way around to the final outer two zones. Oh my goodness.
Wow. What a chase, and what a lead as well. Looks like Alan Hines threw that right on the wall. Let's watch that again. Literally perfect. Nico sacrificing a little bit of his own to keep proximity, but that's okay. Right on his door. Taking a little bit of a strange line, stay in that proximity again, but doing a great job at it. Perfectly timing those transitions and keeps pretty consistent the whole run. That was nice. Let's see what Alan's got for the chase.
Yeah, Alan Hines out here. Also, his teammate Reese is also going to be competing. But Nico, absolute monster. If you ever seen his Instagram, he had his mom in the passenger seat. But we'll see how he rides out here. Nice initiation. Looks like possible clutch drag right into that first outer zone. But here's Alan Hines being as rowdy can be all the way into that door, using that tire to rub up on him. Nico still uses a lot of angle to the final two outer zones, all the way to that final outer zone. Oh my goodness.
Wow. You can just tell the difference in pace and the difference in driving style. Alan Hines really back into it well. As you see him come in here, and like he was saying, a little bit of a clutch drag. Looks like he kind of had to get back into the zone. Does a better job than Nico did of staying in that zone. In proximity, he does fall back a little bit here, but sucks up real nice. Great proximity. Maybe even some contact there as they come into the last zone. Alan Hines right on his door. I don't want to be the judges on this one.
Man, and we got our judges out here, some actual the Drift Masters judges is pretty cool, and then we have the VDC judge as well. It's so cool to see the two worlds collide and mesh pretty well with these type of competitions. So you got Nico Stella coming out here just taking the sim community like out of control. Like at the first, when I found out how young his age is,
right,
he's able to shred with these guys. Like just saying, age doesn't matter as long as you put the time and effort. Well, we have the judge's decision coming up here. Slide him right for Nico, slide him left for Alan. And it looks like Alan Hines gets to win. Like the middle judge was trying to get it one more time, but Alan Hines moves on to the top 16.
Yeah, I think that was just going to come down to the proximity and the consistency in the zones, but it was definitely close. Nico was smooth.
Yeah, he was very Alan Hines was very aggressive. Now we have Wallman with a buy run, so we're gonna have him get his tires ready, get himself set up. And this is probably a perfect opportunity to kind of go over the track while he's going to be doing this run. With going up to this run up, it's not a crazy long run up. It is a pretty decent run up, but then you have to decel enough so you don't smack that first outer wall. And then he's going to be kind of shooting forward into that inner clip like we were talking about before. A lot of guys are using that left foot braking on that outer too, to kind of huck their back end as close to the wall. And then this last zone, from what I've been seeing in practices and even in battles, is that they won't put too much angle into it right off the rip. They'll kind of like shallow up angle and then just dig more angle around that zone. So I love this layout. It's fun. And now we have Artem Chokov versus Lucas. Artem Chokov, I've had the pleasure of
been in the community for a while.
It's funny because sometimes I'll see him in a flanker, which is a really unique car, and I think this is pretty dope car to see drift. We have Lukash kind of go a little too happy. He went over the line, so. If you had never seen drifting before, there's a line there they can't cross. The lead car can't jumpstart the light, but the chase car can. To get that proximity, you have Artem Chokov coming in with a nice initiation, use some left foot braking to stabilize that car and get to that first outer zone. But here's Lukash all the way in to that pocket. A little bit of slowdown on that transition so he could try to gain proximity, but it seems like Artem is getting some speed in zones and is hard for Lucas to catch that proximity.
Looks like we saw a little bit of dirt flying there too. I believe that was from the chase. Just replay. Looks like probably the best initiations we've seen so far. Perfect, both drivers right on the wall. Great proximity. Perfect through this inner zone, right on the wall. Both drivers again. And then it looks like right there, a little bit of dust from the leaves. He flies out with an angle and gets that proximity back. Definitely hard to predict the angle on this track because it looks like every driver's doing it a little bit differently.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of drifting, man. Like, you could skin a cat as many ways as you can as long as you get the job done.
Right.
In drifting, you have your own style, you have your own flavor. I've talked to real drivers and even virtual drivers. I love how it's a different dialect they have to each track that they do. So you got Lukash coming in with a nice initiation, but here's Artem Chokov diving into the pocket and rubbing doors with Lucas all the way into that inner clip. And now here comes this surge right here on that transition from Artem Chokov to try to mirror a little bit of contact, but unfazed as Lucas.
And some contact after the finish line too. That was spicy right there. Looks like the chase is holding no punches as he comes in, maybe a little bit of contact there, but unfazed by it. Giving just enough room for the transition here and right back onto that rear door. Pretty good angle matching and barely makes that transition. Wow, what a chase. And then a little bit of contact in here that will be a mistake, but he stays aggressive nonetheless. Impressive.
Yeah, I love Artem because the great thing is I giggle with him. Like he's the way he drives is like artillery strikes, so I call him Artie. He's a fantastic driver, very aggressive. You see the powerhouse of him in the chase and just putting as much pressure as he can. Slide him left for Artem, slide him right for Lucas, and Artie gets the win.
Yeah, what a battle. A lot of people will slide back a little bit when that contact happens, let off the throttle, but he does not show that.
Now we're going to have, oh man, this is going to be a spicy battle. Yeah, Peter versus Darius Austriaca. I don't know who to pick on this. These guys are absolute animals on the track. We got to check on them big boys, so let's see how they run. Darius Austriaca in the lead with that E90 Supra. Been doing fantastic throughout the series. Here's Peter coming in with a nice initiation and trying to dive into the pocket and angle up with Darius. Darius is being as buttery smooth. Looks like a robot going through outer zone 2, transitions to outer 3. But here's Peter unfazed and being uncanny on the aggression.
Wow, great lead, great chase. Looks like the first zone he gave to, we'll call it adjusting to the lead style here. Looks like, he's right there, but then does fall back a little bit. Catches up like it's nothing, nonetheless. And then for the rest of the run, looks like he's pretty much on his door. Right there, maybe even a little contact. A little bit different line there. And then as they come in, man, that turn is sharp, perfect across the line. A lot of angle in that last zone. That was good.
It is, and it's crazy because we're gonna see it later on. Darius's brother Martinez versus Darius's teammate Jaku. This bracket is gonna be insane. Oh my goodness! So Darius Austriaca, A90 Supra in the chase, Peter in the lead. You're coming out here. Beautiful initiation. Use some braking to get right into that wall. But here's Darius trying to hold that proximity. And here's that dive. Darius falls back just a little bit, so he gives him room to transition. And Peter is just filling out each zone. Huge angle in outer 3. Going to outer 4. Money. And now Peter is just pedal to the metal all the way through that finish line.
And that was fast. I think now we're just going to be looking for, was he trying to pull away from him, or was he just that much faster? Let's watch it. Looks like he's got the proximity coming into this first zone. Even more than Peter did. But then right here, he just starts to fall back. Can't quite keep up. And it looks like Peter's angle is pretty good too, as he does cut that last zone to keep that proximity and catches up there. But we'll see what type of difference that makes to the judges.
Darius, and I've had the opportunity to actually commentate a Darius versus Martinez battle. Then that was the most insane battle. It was like a sibling rivalry.
I always figured they shared a sim.
It looks like Darius gets the win and moves on. Peter gets knocked out. Beautiful performance from both of the drivers. We see Darius move on to the top 16. Now we have David versus Powell. We've seen these guys before. These guys are shredders. And I guess they're going to blows right off the rip in the burnout box. Just tapping each other. Powell's been doing a fantastic job as well on the VDM side, and as well as David. So we're gonna see how they perform on this track. Previous track and Mondella was insane. It was. The amount of aggression and these drivers were having, the real life and virtual. It's uncanny. So we'll see. David is going to be in the lead versus Powell Cross in the chase. Oh, David comes in with a nice Scandinavian flick to that first outer zone. Use some left foot brake, and it looks like he's trying to keep that angle so he could dive into that inner clip, going into outer zone 2, using that left foot brake to huck himself close to that wall. But here's that huge angle. Looks like a little bit of a checkup from David, but he's still able to fill out each zone, and Powell is staying right there at his door.
Yeah, that was a good example of how each driver has a different way of driving this track. It's like the lead has it right there onto that wall. And he stays right there with him. Barely makes that transition. Comes right back. Both drivers on the wall again. And then this last zone, it gets a little bit tricky as it matters where you start getting that forward bite. And it looks like he does pull away from him a bit.
Well, we have them switching sides. I had the opportunity to bring a couple people to a drift event in this past weekend and kind of explain why they switched sides. And it's something that no other sport is able to do. But here it goes. Powell coming in here. Oh, late to that first outer zone and a wall tap. And now David is just reading that and saying, hey, maybe I need to be conservative on outer zone 2 and 3, giving him some room. Here comes Powell. Nice transition to the final 2 outer zones and filling it all the way out. But I think those 2 taps and corrections are going to be a huge mistake. It's going to probably cost him a win.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And that can happen too easily. It looks like he just got a little bit of grip coming in there, a little bit too much grip. It was late to the wall, and that caused him to take a different line and unfortunately hit that wall. And he did not play it as safe as I thought he would in the chase here. Still keeping pretty good proximity in this last zone, really showing his skills, putting it right on the door. This one's pretty clear cut to me, but I don't want to give him the commentator's curse. So
yeah, that is a thing. So luckily they're in the sim, so they don't have a bumper budget. They could just slap that bumper on each wall as much as they want. Judge is going to be looking at it. I think they came to a decision. Slide him left for David. Slide him right for Powell. And it looks like David gets the win and moves on to the top 16.
I noticed you didn't say his last name there, Tiny.
Sir, don't you do that to me. I already got yelled at for butchering names. I don't want anybody to get upset, you know?
Yeah.
But I'll make up a nickname for him. Don't worry. By the end of this round, it'll be coming up with a nickname. But we have our next drivers. Daniel Andreev podiumed last round. And we have Edward Husa.
Daniel Andreev, a heavyweight from DCGP.
Mm-hmm. And Ed Husa, he was in CNDS from a couple times. He had a clutch issue on the last round. But here's Daniel Andreev. Oh, beautiful initiation on that first outer zone. Oh. A little bit of a bobble and correction that forces Ed to kind of make some contact. And here comes outer zone 3 and 4. All the way. Angle is beautiful. Silky smooth from Daniel Andreev for the rest of that track. Oh, mercy.
Yeah, I'm curious what really happened here. Let's see if we can tell from watching the replay. It looks like he just takes a little bit of different line in that chase. Daniel standing right on the wall in that different line. That shallower angle causes some contact there. It looks like the chase's fault, but we'll leave that up to the judges. And he manages to catch back up by this last zone. See some dirt flying there. And cutting that last corner a little bit to keep that proximity. Looked like a good lead from Daniel.
Yeah, it was funny. I was talking to Husa when he broke that clutch pedal after the round, and I'm like, "How are you doing it?" He was like, "Use the gas." That's all he said.
Yep.
And I'm like, "Oh yeah, but that's crazy." Here it goes, Ed Husa, man of little words, and here he comes into that first outer zone. Beautiful hold on that first outer zone, filling it all the way out. But here is Daniel Andreev keeping that proximity gain super aggressive. And that zone, oh, possible tire drop from Eddie Husa as he's going through the final 2 outer zones. My goodness, Daniel Andreev was still keeping that proximity. That mixed mistake from Eddie Husa, it cost him. Just maybe one more time, what do you think?
I don't know. Daniel did a great job of mimicking the lead's line here. We see none of the same mistakes that Ed made on his chase. Looks looks like he's right there with him, and then definitely into the grass a little bit there for that lead. Daniel, nonetheless, seeing it, correcting for it, anticipating his next move. Chase first chase, I definitely give this one to Daniel.
I'm seeing in chat, has LZ gone yet? Nope, he hasn't gone yet. I think he's actually still in Jersey. All right, slide him left for Daniel. Slide him right for Eddie Husa. It looks like Daniel Andreev gets the win, moves on to the top 16. Next driver we have is Virgil versus Cameron Mustard.
The mustard.
The mustard. Let's see if he turns on the spicy brown mustard. I told him, if you ever, I keep giving him this thing. I want to go to Costco and then send him brown mustard whenever you put spicy ones. But I don't know. I don't know if I could do that overseas. Cameron Mustard. He's newly acquired for the AOM, Art of Motion drivers. These guys have been doing an absolute banger in each competition. Let's see how Cameron comes in here. A little bit late to outer zone 1, but here comes Virgil with the Door Breakers Drift Team livery in that S chassis coming around and trying to keep that proximity. Cameron is doing a good job keeping that speed and momentum. Use some left foot braking to pivot that car around into the final 2 outer zones and riding it all the way to that wall. Little bit of a conservative run from Cameron.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like Chase did not know, Virgil didn't really know how to take this line here, like on the initiation. Had to come in and get back into the pocket and keeping a little bit of space in that proximity because he isn't sure about the next move, it looks like. And then on the last zone, he does kind of pull up to him and say, hey, I can still do this. I'm right on your door. We'll see how it goes the other way around.
Yeah, and I know Cameron with that, he had so much momentum and so much angle going into the last 2 outer zone before that transition. It astounds me when I see drivers do that with huge angle going there. But now we have Virgil is going to be in the lead with the Door Breakers S chassis, and Cameron's going to see Door Breakers, and he is probably going to put it to his door and be as aggressive as possible in this chase. Here we go. Virgil with a Scandinavian flick into that first outer zone, and here's Cameron Mustard being as spicy as can be, getting doors in that first outer zone, going to inner clip 1. Beautiful. Virgil is coming in there, use some left foot braking. Cameron acknowledges the left foot braking and then gets back to the door of Virgil and going to the final 2 outer zones. Oh, mercy. Can we get a doors in chat for that one?
Yeah, that was crazy. I already know this is going to be a tough one for the judges. We see none of the same problems we saw in the first run with this initiation. Cameron being right there with him as Virgil comes back, looking like a great lead run here and a great chase run in comparison, but there was a little bit of off track there. Thinking the lead driver, and Cameron is right there to that last zone. Great chase, but you know what makes a great chase is a great lead.
You know what makes a great sandwich? A little bit of mustard.
That's it's also true. That's very poetic. Yeah.
You know.
I don't imagine the judges being as quick on this one. If it were me, I'd have to take a minute and see where those mistakes originated.
Yeah, it could be a cause of these guys. A lot of the cool thing is when I'm talking to these drivers and being able to drive with them and kind of learning their body language, or not their body language, their psyche. That's what I love to do. Is that they see most of the time they're looking at the front wheels. So if he maybe sees a little bit of a movement to the front wheels, that might have forced him to kind of back off a little bit, but then slides right back into it. He's super aggressive.
Yeah. The chat said a great wife makes great sandwiches.
Of course, that's because it's with love, with love and a little bit of mustard.
Cute. That's cute.
No. The mustard is questionable. I'm seeing it, chat. Okay. Slide him left for mustard. Slide him right for Virgil. And it looks like it's a one more time.
Let's go.
Final judge was saying, hey, I'm kind of leaning to Virgil, but the other two judges said we're doing it one more time. We're going to see if Mustard goes to the kitchen, grabs another sandwich, and spreads that mustard all around that bread.
Yeah.
Oh, bread money, the grand prize, you know.
Yeah. Oh, double entendre. All right.
Double entendre, right. Man. I'm a poet when it comes to this. All right, here we go. They're in the bird box. A lot of people ask for SimWise why these guys try go into the burn box, but most of the time it's just to make sure that their gear is actually working, their sim rig. I've had people say that they've lost feedback in the middle of a burn box, and I'm like, oh, I never really thought of that. Compared to like real life, they'll actually scrub the tires to get that grip.
Yeah, in real life, you're not too concerned about your throttle not working or your shifter not working.
Yeah, so
hopefully
we have Cameron coming in with a nice contact right on the initiation, but Cameron Mustard is being a straight gangster, saying that don't mean nothing, you could bump me all you want, but filling out each zone. Cameron Mustard using a lot of angle, but it looks like Virgil is struggling after that contact on initiation and kind of psyched himself out afterwards.
Yeah, that was crazy. What is crazy really is that they both managed to kind of get back on the line. It looks like he just had a little bit too much speed, a little bit too much forward grip. Came in, put his door onto Cameron's bumper. And then they keep going like nothing happened. Proximity to this next zone. Cameron does pull away a little bit. Looks like a little bit of a straighten there from the chase. And last zone like nothing happened. So we'll see if the judges agree. I think that was the chase's fault. I don't see how that could have been the lead's fault, but
yeah. Well, we'll see what the judges agree. We do have another lap. We have Virgil in the lead now, and Cameron Mustard in the chase with repping that AOM livery. And very similar to in real life competition, they do usually have spotters while they're competing. Pretty cool to see the mesh of both worlds. But Virgil, door breakers as chassis, and Cameron Mustard with the AOM livery as chassis coming in to dive into the pocket. Virgil makes a little bit of contact in the first outer wall, but here's Cameron Mustard unfazed by the little bit of a correction that Virgil did. But man, he is sticking it to him, even though he doesn't need too much of an aggressive chase. But man, Cameron is just being that guy and saying, I am not going to do conservative runs today.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting him to chill a little bit of a strategy, but he did not. So he comes in, puts it right onto his door, literally right there, front wheel to bumper, or front wheel to door, sorry. Do this next inner clip, both of them on the wall. Cameron, not even a car length behind. They come through great angle mimicking and a perfect last outer zone. That looks pretty clear cut to me.
And if you guys want some merch from the driftmasters.gp shop, use the code VDM. You get 50% off. Definitely is awesome to get some of their merch. They're clean merch, man. I love their
they are
sleek hoodies or sleek what was it, winterbreaker jackets. We call them winterbreakers over here, but I know you're in Alaska, so you
it's a windbreaker.
Yeah, winter breaker.
Yeah, those don't break the winter here, fortunately.
Well, you're in where polar bears live, dude.
They don't.
Slide them left for Mustard, slide them right for Virgil, and Mustard gets the win. Moves on. You got no polar bears by you, dude?
No, not at all.
You're not really in Alaska then. You're lying to me.
You think we got penguins too?
Yeah, I've seen the Coca-Cola commercials. I'm probably
Yeah,
dating myself.
they filmed that right outside my house, actually.
We're gonna have a server reset. We did do the left side of the bracket, so we're having these guys get reset. We do this in the sim community. So every time whenever we have a certain amount of people, we'll have a server reset, so it refreshes the server, make sure that ping's good. But Jake, how you feeling, dude?
Oh, it's good, man. This has been exciting. This has exceeded my expectations, per se.
Yeah, it's really crazy to see the amount of competition, especially when you have the actual Drift Master guys out here shredding virtual tires with us and using this as a tool. So it's a cool experience.
Absolutely.
The right side of the bracket is going to be insane because we got a bunch of heavy hitters. You got Linus Turnquist, Shishov Rina, Lucas Pasquini versus Simon Sandman, Jaku versus the brother Martinez, and you have Nick Hang, Randy Noah, Alexander Element versus Reese Tatterson. What is going on in this world?
Yeah, if you know anything about virtual drifting, like if you followed VDC or DCGP, CNDS, any of those, then you know all these guys. These are the heavyweights here. And I love to see it. Love to be here for it.
For sure. It's awesome to see that kind of environment and energy from these drivers. These drivers are awesome. And just the community as a sim in whole, like they'll go to a server, they'll get tandems. You'll probably see them in a public VDC lobby, or even like just regular like street cars, and we're out there just having a good time. But then when it's in competition, a lot of these guys, they're very I wouldn't say cutthroat, but they're so competitive that they just eat, sleep, and breathe just taking the door away from the other person.
Yeah, and then we're not worried about the bumper budget, as you put it.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful thing in the game.
I talking to some of the drivers that do the sim. It's cool, actually. The real world drivers that do the sim. It's cool to have them that opportunity to drive with a pro on any of these public servers. I've been on some ACS servers where I'm driving with Jeff Jones or Rome CP.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? Like, yeah,
it's so wild. And then just being able to say, "Hey, what's up?" to them at an event, it's so crazy. It's a cool thing how the drift community is now melding together into a great family.
Yeah, you mentioned driving with the pros, man. I love that. Just last week, I think I was in a lobby with Ben Hobson and and Von Gittin. I don't know if it was the real Von Gittin. I kind of doubted that one, but
well, let's put it this way. Sometimes I like to change my name in the server. I'll do Sam Hubinet. So if you OG fans will understand who Sam Hubinet is. But
man, people are saying, man, he really fell off. He's not driving very good.
But we got Linus Turnquist versus Shishov Rapina. Shishov is another Escuco driver. Linus Turnquist is out here getting ready with a E36 to shred some tires. Big wing in the back from both of these drivers. Nice initiation from Linus. And here's Shishov trying to keep that proximity right off the rip and holding that door of Linus Turnquist going into outer zone 2. Money transitions to outer zone 3. Even beautiful. But Shishov is right there holding that proximity. A little bit of a stutter on that transition, but right back to the door.
Man, that was spicy, per se.
Was it sriracha spicy or was it Tabasco?
Yeah, that was Tapatio or something. Looks like he's right there with the proximity, sacrificing a little bit of his zone, but keeping that proximity. That's what we like to see in Drift Masters. Right on his door, getting just enough room for the transition and coming right back. Let's see if Shishtoff can do the same thing in the chase here.
Shishtoff is
Did I get those backwards?
Shishtoff is in the lead. Yeah, no, you're good.
Oh, I was gonna say I thought I got him right.
Yeah, you got him right. Shishtoff is awesome. I love seeing him drive.
Yeah,
too.
he is.
He's also, I think he's a young buck too. But now we have Linus Turnquist in the chase. Very aggressive driver from what I've seen in competition. But Shishtoff comes in and holds that wall. A little bit of a bobble on outer zone 1. But here comes my man, Linus Turnquist, coming in with super aggressive speeds in the chase, doing a nice surge. Huge angle from Shishtoff. Oh, a tire drop from Linus Turnquist in the chase. But Shishtoff is going to fill out, and it looks like a possible straighten right before the line.
Oh, man, that's unfortunate. Looks like he just threw a little bit too hard there. Up till then, it looked great, though. Linus throwing it right in, not falling back in the pocket, but staying in the pocket there. Good proximity, good angle matching. Comes back. Same through this zone. And then right here, it looks like the lead was a little bit off, and the chase just kind of sent it too hard, completely missing that zone, and potentially straightening it right before the finish line. It's an unfortunate spot. Right there.
That's. I wonder if it was. I don't know if it was really or from the lead or chase, but follow the Drift Masters socials. You got Twitch. You also have Facebook and YouTube. Masters Grand Prix on YouTube. If you're here, you already know. Drop us a sub. Drop us a like on this stream. You also want to appreciate the main sponsors, MetaPro, G2A, one of the two main sponsors of the virtual series, doing a great job on helping us out and supporting us through this venture.
Yeah, man, it's awesome to see all the just all the resources and energy being put into the virtual community for this. You know, really bringing all the different comps together for an all-stars team. That's amazing.
It's crazy, dude. And the amount of preparation when they were getting this set up, it took about, man, I found out about this about, I want to say like 4 or 5 months prior to the actual first round. And I was in awe when they asked me, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And just the amount of prep that they go through to try to get everything round by round and try to link up with everybody, make sure everything's smooth and consistent. I truly appreciate that. I think that's awesome. As well as DCGP is the backbone for the virtual, giving us the models, the tracks. The DCGP team is also doing a fantastic job on getting everything situated. And I want to especially thank the Driftmaster drivers that come out to do the quals and compete in the top 32s as well.
Yeah, absolutely. For everybody to make time for the virtual side is just incredible to see.
Yeah, and it looks like the judges are going to be very closely examining the battle to kind of see what happened. I think the biggest thing is why did Linus Turnquist go off track? Was it because he saw Shishtoff angle up, or so much angle, or it depends. It depends how they look at it. You know, this is a judged motorsport, and unfortunately, with drifting, some people don't like certain judgments. But it looks like we have a decision. Bottom left for Linus, bottom right for Rupina, and it looks like, hey, one more time. I think the judge was saying, hey, these guys could run it better. Let's see them run it back and see who's more consistent.
Yeah, that's kind of how I see it too. It looks like the lead did start taking a bit of a wild line there, and it definitely caused the chase to do that. But I got to give some blame to the chase as well for not being able to adjust. So I think one more time is the right decision here.
Yeah, well, if you see someone coming in hot and spicy, like the hot sauce from Buffalo Wild Wings, that really extra spicy one. Like sometimes
Yeah.
you're overconfident, you know. I tried it
Right.
once with my wrap, and I was like, yeah, I could do this. And I took 2 bites, and I had to run to the bathroom. So here we go. Linus Turnquist in the lead, just up for being in the chase. All right, one more time battle of this top 32 bracket. And Turnquist with that BMW coming in with a nice initiation, filling out that first outer zone and using that momentum to get there. But here's Shishov keeping that proximity right off the rip to get all the way into that pocket. And Linus Turnquist using the momentum of that car, and that weight transfer is beautiful. And Shishov Rapina is just staying right there, close proximity to Linus. But there's a little bit of a bobble on the final outer zone from Linus. We'll see. What's he going to say? What do you think, Vic?
Yeah, that might have been the only mistake on this run. Let's see. What a great initiation, great chase, great lead. Looks like he's right on his door. Perfect through this section as well. Second right up to his door, both on the wall. We see none of the same mistakes that we saw in the first battle. And then, yeah, a little bit of a hesitation there, we call it, causing him to miss that last outer zone. But other than that, it was pretty great.
Yeah, it was a really good run from Linus in the lead. Let's see how he does in the chase. Waiting for the lights. Here are the lights. Just up for Pina. One more time battle, second lap. And that S Kuko 240 coming in with a nice initiation. Oh my goodness. Right up against that wall, rubbing that back bumper and wing in that first wall. Dives into that inner clip. Beautiful. But here's Linus Turnquist going to surge right into the pocket. Oh no. Looked like the same mistake from the first battle from Linus Turnquist. A little bit of a tire drop on there. Not as crazy as the first one.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to put the blame on Shishov now. But we see the same mistake. Looks like perfect through that first outer zone as they come back for this transition, and he gets right up in his door, picking up some momentum. Looks like transitions at the same time, but then just doesn't get that forward bite, causes him to fall off track a little bit. And then still manages to get that proximity back for that last outer zone. It's pretty impressive. If you know how slippery grass can be in Assetto Corsa, then you'd know that that's not easy to do. But we'll see what the judges think about this.
It looked like even Linus kind of was too shallow of an angle on that chase, on that where he went off track. So if he angled up more, he would be able to carry that momentum around and stay close proximity. So he kind of like understeered into the grass. So, man, that's unfortunate. I do love seeing Linus drive, and he's an absolute shredder. But also, Shishov, could be a demon on the track too. I love his wild side.
Yeah, both drivers doing great in TCGP last year.
Mm-hmm.
Both cars with those big wings flipping through the walls. Love to see it.
You know what else gives you wings? Red Bull, because I am drinking it and I am zooming. You like Red Bull? I like Red Bull.
I got some coffee going too. No Red Bull
Left
there.
for Linus, right for Rapina. And looks like Linus Turnquist gets the win. And moves on. And our next battle coming up. This is our first battle of the right side of the bracket.
Who do we got?
Now we have Wojciech versus Andreas Kleinberg. Andreas Kleinberg,
an absolute, I say this a lot, but a heavyweight from the TCGP community.
Yeah.
And I'm not familiar with I don't even want to try the name. Wojciech, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, Wojciech.
Let's see what he's got.
Let's see how he does with that BMW. Oh, huge angle
Oh.
from Andreas. But he is able to reel it back in. It was a huge mistake in the chase, but Wojciech was able to suck that back bumper right into that wall, into outer zone 2 as well, going all the way to outer zone 3. Beautiful transition, carrying all that momentum, and then hucking that angle to the final outer 2 zones. Wow.
Yeah, that got pretty interesting on the initiation. Let's see if we can tell what happens here. Andrews just coming in almost for a reverse entry at first. Looks like possibly checking on the lead's door if we can fall back, but then does not miss a beat as he comes back and gets the proximity. It's like a pretty big difference in angle there as they come back. I'm not gonna lie, the chase was a little bit all over the place, but that could have been from a speed difference. Let's see how they do in swapped positions.
Andreas is going to be in the lead, and Wojciech is going to be in the chase. Let's see if he'll make me say whoa while he's chasing. See what I did there?
Oh, cause the name. Yeah, got it.
Yeah,
that's pretty clever.
You need more Red Bull, bro. Like Red Bull?
I
like
do.
Red Bull. Here you go. Wait for the lights. Here it is. Andreas is in the lead. The RTR Racing Team Riga BMW coming in late into that first outer zone, but Wojciech is right there in proximity, just diving in as much as he can, leaving some room for this transition and surging possibly in these final 2 outer zone, but he is being very conservative. It seems like a very clean and conservative run from the chase. We'll see what the judges look at this.
Yeah, this looked like a great chase, but I always say a great chase makes a great lead. Definitely late into that first outer zone as they both fall back. Wojciech's really mimicking Andres' line amazingly as they come in here. Loses a little bit of proximity there, but gains it back like it's nothing. Massive angle from Andres into that last zone, and into this one. Perfect from both drivers. I think this is going to come down to the first run.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to the first run and seeing how super aggressive these drivers have been. But we'll see. Left for Wojciech, right for Andres, and Wojciech gets the win.
Yeah, great driving from him. Is he a real life driver or a VDC driver or?
This is the first time me seeing him in the virtual Drift Masters, so I'm gonna ask the production aside. We'll get.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Someone that I haven't had the opportunity to commentate, but unlike these two demons out here, you have Lucas Pasquini versus Simon Sandman in the chase. Lucas Pasquini, another AOM member, coming in with a nice Scandinavia flick, huge angle, but Simon Sandman is catching doors all the way into that initiation. Lucas Pasquini is getting into that inner clip, possibly punting that inner clip, but man, uses some left foot braking to ride that second wall. Oh, outer zone 3 is beautiful from Lucas, but here's Simon Sandman getting right there on his door. Whoa!
Man, Simon Sandman is an absolute legend. I mean, the guy's been around for a while. Looks like it's a crazy risk on the initiation, but it definitely pays off. Lucas with a great lead. Simon trusting him fully. Gets hung up on that transition a little bit, it looks like, but not phased in the slightest. Simon coming back to this last zone. Perfect mimic of angle, perfect proximity. Great run from Simon. Let's see if Lucas can do the same thing.
Well, let's see. Simon's going to be in the lead, and Lucas is going to be in the chase. Let's see if Simon's lead will send Lucas off to Neverland. And, man, I'm going to be doing Metallica references from Simon all the time. Here we go. Simon in the lead. Lucas in the chase. coming in with a nice initiation from Simon, but here comes Lucas giving him some room and then diving right into the pocket of Simon Sandman, being super aggressive right off the rip. Inner clip is beautiful from Simon. A little bit of an angle up going to outer zone 3 all the way in. Lucas is a little bit forward in that pocket on that transition, but now he is getting right there on his door, changing his Spotify playlist and saying no Metallica for you. It's Tay-Tay for me.
Yeah, I already know this is going to be a tough one for the judges. Looks like a little bit late from Lucas into that first zone, but I don't even want to mention it because it was so slight. Great proximity. He comes right back up, stays with him. Both drivers absolutely flying through this course. Simon with an amazing lead. Lucas comes right up to his door in that last zone. Great lead, great chase, both drivers. It's going to be a tough one. Might see our second OMT. Third OMT? Second OMT? Another big shout out to the judges. Really doing the work we need here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I want to say thank you for the shout out. Or actually, Patrick in the chat, he corrected me. What? It's not Wojciech, it's a Wojciech. I like Wojciech because I can say whoa, like
whoa,
whoa, like that song. But
dang it, Patrick,
you ruined it, man. No, but if you guys do know the pronunciation of these drivers, it gets more interaction with you guys. I love interacting with the people in the chat and having a good time with you guys. We all love drifting. We all love having a good time. And especially the drivers. The drivers enjoy when chat gets wild, gets hyped up for them, you know? Patrick goes, yeah, way better.
Yeah, man, that's crucial because sometimes I don't even want to try just because.
Well, that happened with Jakubellis. Jakubellis.
Jaku?
Yeah, I came up with Jaku because I just like the ring to it, and he embraced it, and I thank you for embracing that nickname. There's some other guys that I'll come up with, like Artem Chokov from Marty. These guys out here on the sim, they're awesome. They're great people.
Absolutely.
Lucas to the left, Simon to the right. Simon Sandman gets the win, and is moving on to the top 16. Beautiful performance from both of these drivers. I don't even think you could walk away with your head down because that was amazing.
Yeah, I think how long the judges took definitely speaks volumes to how close that really was.
Now we have Samuel Cudy versus Shistov. So I want to give a shout out to Maddie, one of the DCGP guys, because he taught me how to say the name properly, Shistov. But he didn't tell me how to say his last name. So if you know it in chat, let me know. Here we go. Samuel Cudy in the lead. Shistov in the chase.
Ooh.
Huge Scandinavian flick from Sam Cudy. And that is very well known for him because he loves that Scandinavian flick going to that first outer zone, going into the inner clip. Beautiful transition and filling out each zone all the way through. And here comes Shistov to dive into the pocket and holding that proximity, uses some left foot brake to stay right there in the door. A little bit of a wall tap from Sam Cudy.
Yeah, it looked like Shistov said, I don't really know what to do on that initiation. I was not expecting that. Looks like he makes do with it, though. A little bit late into that zone. I can't blame him. Great proximity, though. The Samuel comes through this next zone. Looking solid, looking fast. Shistov keeping that proximity as well. And staying with it right here. Good angle matching. Right on his door through that last zone. Fairly unfazed by that wild initiation. I'm curious if we're going to see the same thing from him in the chase.
All right, here we go. You got Shistov in the lead. You have Sam Cudy in the chase.
Last name is Jodon.
Jadon?
I'm sorry, Patrick. I still don't know.
Jadon.
Yeah.
Krzysztof Jadon. I hope I said that right. Here he goes with a nice initiation. Use some left foot braking to go to that first outer zone. Oh, and using that left foot brake beautifully to keep that angle and ride that first outer wall. But here comes Sam Cudy losing proximity, and now using that surge on this transition is gonna be crucial to the final two outer zones. It looks like he was not as close proximity for Krzysztof.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that Drift Masters looks for proximity when driving compared to other comps, because the way these drivers go at it, like it's proximity is definitely the most important thing. Samuel keeps it here, sucks up a little bit, and definitely loses it through this zone as we're both shallowing up an angle. Samuel maybe trying to run away from him a little bit. They come through this last zone. Samuel gets it back, and then comes across the line. Yeah, great lead there. I'm curious if the judges are going to see that as running away, though.
I don't know. We were talking about how you were talking earlier about how Drift Masters is more of like really crucial on proximity.
Yeah.
Different competitions, different dialects of drifting. Because a lot of the times when I talk to some drivers, they're saying that you need to gain the proximity, and it's easy to adjust the angle to mirror. So I do agree with keeping that proximity, but if you're able to snap like what we've seen previously, how snapping into that transition with Sandman, or that initiation that Sandman did, and just holding that angle with that driver,
right?
That looks a lot more gangster than just, all right, let me get that proximity and then move my car. It kind of looks a little bit wonky for me, but I've been around the Formula Drift community, seeing these Drift Master guys. They are a different breed, different competition, different demons. And it looks like Sam Cudy gets the win. Moving on to the top 16. Good performance from him.
You know, another thing is that we don't have different kinds of tires. You know, that's something interesting to think about. And in real life, the cars are different speeds.
Yep.
Who do we got next?
This is a team battle. You have Ernestus Jakubellis versus Martinez Austriaca, the brother of Darius. I was talking about it before. Now these guys drove together multiple times. They've all driven together. Martinez is an absolute class act of a person. I always love seeing him in the public lobbies. One of my first posts I've done was with his name. So here we go. Ernestus in the lead. Martinez in the chase. Martinez coming in with a nice initiation, getting a little bit forward in the pocket. Ernestus is riding that outer wall like a baller all the way into that inner clip. Is beautiful. Good fill out. Second outer zone is great. Here comes Martinez diving into the pocket. A little bit of contact. And forces Ernestus to lose that outer zone, but he goes to the final outer zone. And that contact, it kind of looks a little bit of obvious who's that.
Yeah, absolutely. Comes in here a little bit late into this pocket. He does manage to keep the proximity. Always talking about how important that is. The proximity through here, jockeying right on that wall. As we see it on the spoiler there, jockey, love that. And does pull away from a little bit on that last zone.
All right, now we have Martinez in the lead, Jakubellis in the chase. Let's see how these guys shred up the track here in Finland. Next round of Drift Masters. You see them waiting at the line with the main sponsors, banners out there, MetaPro, G2A. Check them out. Martinez coming in with a nice initiation, going all the way into that first outer zone. Here's Jakubellis just keeping that proximity right off the rip, being super aggressive all the way into this first inner clip. Beautiful transition from Martinez. Oh, contact with the wall. Unfortunate for Martinez. And it forces him into an awkward line. going into this final 2 outer zones. Beautiful performance from him to fight through all the struggles and tribulations that you had in these 2 laps.
Yeah, he just got hung up on that wall a little bit. That was unfortunate. You see a good initiation, good line from the lead, chasing a little bit late into the pocket, but he's not phased by it. Just hung up a little bit there, causes some contact. Chase again unfazed, but the lead gets put on the awkward line, causing a bit of the grass and across that finish line. Yeah, I think that's going to be put onto the lead. We'll see what the judges think. There were definitely some mistakes in the first run as well, though, so we'll see how this goes. We've got them parked right next to each other. Love that.
Jaku embracing that nickname on the spoiler.
I know, I love that.
It's so great.
And it helps me tell them apart.
Yeah. Jaku goes, hey, thanks for giving me that nickname. I love it. I started laughing. But Martinez also, he's very, I would say more the soft-spoken driver in the community, because he'd be like, hey, what up, Martinez? He could be loud and he'd be like, hi. So it's very cool to see these guys drive together. Their videos on their social media is awesome. So let's see. Judges are looking at this.
Yeah, whenever there's contact or anything like that, the judges don't want to make any hasty decisions, because it's not always what it appears to be in drifting, that's for sure.
Now, thinking that I know the judges are going to definitely pick the yellow A90 Supra.
Yeah, the yellow A90 Supra did some great driving.
Mm-hmm.
Love that livery.
They all rep the same livery. It's funny because I usually see Martinez in the S13 a lot, and seeing him in the A90 is actually really new to me. So we'll see what the judges say. Slide him right for Martinez. Slide him left for Jaku. And it looks like it's going to be a one more time for these judges. We'll have them run it back. We'll see how these guys perform out here and see what they could do with fresh tires. And we say fresh tires in the sim community because it actually is data on here that it causes loss of grip on the rear tires, kind of similar to real life. So that's why a lot of the pro drivers use Assetto Corsa as a tool to practice with.
Yeah, we have damage physics causing the tires to break apart, and we have tire wear physics causing them to be a tire life. Mm-hmm. So when these drivers reset, they gain a little bit of grip, and then as the run continues, they do lose a little bit of grip.
Now, we have Darius Austriaca in the chat. Let's see if we could cause some turmoil. Darius, who are you going for? Jaku, or Martinez? Here's Ernestus Jaku in the lead. Martinez in the chase. Coming in with a nice initiation from Jaku. Martinez dives forward into the pocket and trying to keep that proximity, and is doing so. But contact on transition from Martinez. Didn't give him enough room, so transition. Martinez snaps the angle on the chase and just diving right back into the pocket towards the last outer zone, giving some little tire rub.
Yeah, definitely hung up on that transition. I know how tough that can be if you're driving with a lead and you try to transition and it just doesn't go. It's like a little bit of shallow angle on the initiation. It does keep that, and squeezing it right there. Falls back a little bit, manages to come back. Some bobbles for sure, and then the last set does clean it all up. see how the flip goes.
Yep, we have Martinez now in the lead, and that's this Jaku in the chase. Waiting for the lights. These guys seem to be kind of on rails. I think Jaku is pretty gripped up, that he's really fast, and I think that's what's causing Martinez to kind of bobble a lot. He's trying to keep that speed, but we have Jaku now in the chase. Martinez in the lead. Nice initiation from Martinez. Huge angle going to that first outer zone. Use some left foot brake to dive right into that wall, and now he comes in to that inner clip. Beautiful move. Oh, another wall tap from Martinez. He goes into outer zone 3. Jaku is just giving him room so he can let him breathe and then get back right into the pocket, being active in the chase.
This is definitely a track where you have plenty of spots to catch up if you use that proximity. So that's fun to see for sure. It's like pretty much the same exact run going on here as we saw last time. As he approaches this wall, a little bit of a tap there, throws him off, but unfazed by it. Dropping hanging back a little bit from him, and I bet he's going to hit this next wall, but doesn't. Perfect proximity. Think we're going to see another one more time here?
I don't know. I think the judges have seen 2 runs and seen if it was kind of like what we saw before with
right.
previous battle, you know, didn't see proximity and actual chase. But here we go. Jaku gets the win and moves on. The top 16, knocking out Martinez Austriaca, and we're gonna have our next drivers, Alexander Element versus Reese Tatterson. And unfortunate for Martinez to lose at top 32, but at least he got some points. But it looks like Reese Tatterson is getting a bye run. Alexander Element is not here, so we'll see. Reese Tatterson shred up this track. We'll let him speak. Reese Tatterson's doing great things in the sim community. He was also that really popular YouTube video of that sim driver.
Yeah.
That drove that pro car. It was awesome. Now
we have talk about inspiring. Yeah.
Yeah, right? You're seeing a lot of that happen. You have a lot of sim drivers that go pro, and it's cool to see. Now we have Vitaly Isaf versus Ian Johnson. Vitaly, I've seen him drive multiple times. He's the teammates with Andreev.
Awesome livery from Ian here. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Ian, very clean livery. Love the color. Here we go. Vitaly Isaf coming in with a nice initiation. A little bit of a bobble, but still was able to fill out that zone as full as possible. And it looks like a huge bobble in the chase from Ian to try to keep that proximity. And going into the final 2 outer zones, and beautiful transitions from both of them.
Yeah, it looked like a great lead. I might have saw a little bit of connection issues from Ian in the chase that could be on mine. You never know. Looks like he's a little bit shallow in that verse zone. Ian trying his best to stay with it though. Looks like almost a straight lead there. But pulls it all together for this last zone as he comes in this decel, steps right up to his door. Great run from Vitaly in the lead. We've definitely seen great things from him in some other competitions.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we have. And then we have Ian Johnson out here. Irish lass coming out here on the GR86.
GT86.
Oh, it's a GT86.
Yes, sir.
coming in with a big wang. Oh, nice initiation. Moving to that first out of zone, but here's Vitali going into that pocket, using left foot braking to hold that proximity, give him room. And Ian does tap that wall just a little bit, going to outer zone 3. Huge angle. Here's Vitali Isaf going all the way in to the pocket and riding his door all the way to the final stretch of the track. Like it.
Vitali doing a great job mimicking angle and keeping proximity here, as he does kind of do the same thing that Ian did on the first run. Kind of slip back into the pocket, keeping that proximity through here. Very good. And falling back and shallowing up a little bit to keep it, doing the same thing here, actually missing that zone. But right with him across the finish line. And to me, it seemed like a pretty equal amount of mistakes on both drivers, so we'll see what the judges make of that.
Yeah, these guys are out here slaying, and we have one more battle for the top 32 after this, and then we'll be going to a break afterwards. After that, be a 13-minute break, but see how the judges are looking. We could be one more time. Oh, it looks like Vitali Isaf gets the win and moves on. Ian, love you, bro. Love that livery. Keep repping it, man.
Yeah, the livery's sick.
Yeah. Now, we have yet another AOM member, Randy Noah. And you have Nick Hang. Nick Hang, we've seen him in multiple rounds of Virtual Drift Masters. Randy Noah uses the sim as a tool for real world. He was in Fuel Fest. He was in Clutch Kickers. Like he's a fantastic driver of what he has. Great dude to talk to. Coming from Florida, you got Nick Hang. He's been hanging that bumper all around the track in each round he can. Here he comes. Beautiful, huge Scandinavian flick going into that first outer zone, but keeping a mid-line. Not as close as all the other drivers, starting to punt that inner clip. But here comes Randy Noah. Looks like he had to fall back going into the final two outer zones. I don't know if there was a connection issue going on.
Looks like it might have been. I don't want to say though. It's hard to tell here. It's like that massive initiation that we were talking about. So just don't know what to make of it. Says, all right, I got you right up there for the transition. And then starts to, does look like a connection issue. Like just kind of went straight for a second and then didn't really catch back up.
I don't know if there's people that left. So when people leave the server, in the middle of the run, it does cause that issue. So maybe the judges will look at it and see what's going on. We'll see if they have this issue as well. Randy Noah is in the lead. Nick Hang in the chase. Coming in. Nice initiation from Randy Noah, getting right into that first outer wall. Beautiful fill out. Here's Nick Hang keeping that proximity and telling Randy Noah, I am here. I'm going to be knocking on your door into outer zone 2 and 3. Outer zone 4 is beautiful from Randy Noah, being super smooth in his lead.
Yeah, great lead, great chase here. And by the way, those liveries are amazing. Man, a couple of good looking cars. Looks like they both come in, both in the pocket. Really close, giving him a couple taps. So hang on here. Transition does fall back a little bit. Manages to catch most of it up though, as he surges forward right onto his door, and they both cross the line. Yeah, I can't get over how good those cars look.
Yeah, it looks like there was a possible issue, but it does look like Nick Hang moves on. Looks like Randy had an issue with his PC. So you know how in real world you have some issues with their cars, but you also have issues with PCs. So, Jacob, first round, you're here. Usually Craig's with me. Thank you for filling in. And what do you think about Drift Masters Virtual so far, man?
Man, I love it. This is I said before, this is the all-stars of the virtual world, and I just love to see that. And we got all the good drivers. We got everybody from DCGP, we got BDC, as well as some in real life drivers. It's fun. I'm glad to be here. And yeah, it's only gonna get better.
Yeah, it's definitely only gonna get better. I love seeing the bracket that we see here. We have our top 16, and it's looking like a hell of a top 16 with these drivers. Nick Hang is going to be in there. Vitaly, he's battling Vitaly. Jaku is going to be battling Reese Tatterson. These guys are just going to be straight shredding. So we're going to be taking our break. We'll be back in 13 minutes.
Sounds good.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Virtual Drift Masters. My name is Jonathan Tiny Warbe, and I'm here with my partner in crime, Jacob, for this round. We are at the top 16, and man, Jacob, what are you looking at? How do you feeling from the top 32 battles that we had?
Man, it's been crazy. There's been a lot of contact. There's been some off tracks. There's been a couple straightens. I think 4 or 5 one more times. Love to see that. So it's been anything but boring, definitely.
Yeah, especially with these top drivers out here. Virtual Drift Masters is brought to you by MetaPro and G2A, and we want to thank you to the main sponsors of that. And we have our guys that have been helping out the community. DCGP is the backbone on the virtual side to kind of get everything down and dirty and gritty and nitty. So we have our bracket here, our G2A top 16 bracket. We're seeing a lot of heavy hitters here. Man, this is going to be a exciting bracket. The right side, we saw a lot of big top sim drivers. On the left side, we're seeing some big sim drivers, as well as some people that we've probably seen on the first time in the sim community and in competition. So what are you looking at the bracket? Who do you think is the battle to look for?
Oh, well, of course we got Alan Hines. I mean, that's one of the obvious ones. I've driven with him once, and I got smoked. Then we got Vitaly's a personal favorite of mine. I love watching him in DCGP, as well as Sandman. He's real spicy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We got nothing but the best here. I love it.
Yep. And then we have Alan Hines. Speaking of Alan Hines, he is the first driver up. He is going to be doing the lead lap versus Stephen Hatcher. You got Ireland versus Canada. Let's see if some maple syrup would get spilt on the track so he could stick to Alan Hines' door. And Hines coming out here with that S chassis. Nice initiation from Alan Hines, filling out that first outer zone. But here it comes. My man, Stephen Hatcher, coming in and chopping some wood and going all the way through and chopping doors into outer zone 3. A little bit of love taps, giving little kisses on the door, letting Alan Hines know, I am here. Great lead, but I'm going to get closer to your door.
Yeah, we got the VDC versus the IRL here. I love to see that. Stephen Hatcher going from his usual little S2000 to this big boy car here. Say these love taps, getting all the way deep in the pocket. Love to see that. Right onto his door, chopping doors, as you said. Great chase run, but I always say a great chase run is a great lead.
Alan Hines is a very consistent driver. And you were about to say it. We're on the right wavelength of brain power. Great minds think alike, you know. So we got Stephen Hatcher seeing if he could chop down this timber of Alan Hines as a driver. Alan Hines, crazy driver. Love seeing him just shred it everywhere he goes. Stephen Hatcher coming in here with that BMW, and Hines comes in very similar initiation as Stephen Hatcher and tucks his back bumper into the wall with Stephen Hatcher, keeping a pretty good proximity, giving him room on that transition. Here comes outer zone 2. Stephen Hatcher shallows up on angle so he could dive into outer zone 3 and then use that momentum to carry himself to outer zone 4 and 5. But Alan Hines is right there with the proximity.
Yeah, I think we definitely saw Stephen going as fast as he possibly could, knowing that Alan is going to be right there. Like Alan does start a little bit out of the pocket, but falls right back in. Perfect angle matching. And then Stephen just absolutely flying through this course. Alan saying, you know what, I can go fast too. Not giving him any room to breathe. And for this last corner, really surging right up to his door. I don't want to be the judges for any of these runs, really, but especially not this one.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. The judges are looking at who's going to be moving on. These guys have been having some pretty tough battles to judge throughout this whole top 32 bracket. But we'll see on this one. Is it going to be a clear-cut winner, or is it going to be a very like maybe one more time or seeing if they could compete more. We'll see how they do. Sim Magic livery on the side of Stephen Hatcher.
Yeah,
Looking
that's
like
clean.
title sponsor as well as renewable lubricants on the back quarter panels. Great to see it. And Alan Hines with his signature green and black livery on that S chassis. Never thought that would actually mix well until I saw him drive, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that's pretty fire.
Yeah, it looks good on Reese's car too. That's clean. Stephen Hatcher with the chrome lettering on his livery. Looked super clean also.
We got
Big
some
old
guys.
Canadian flag.
Yeah. I want to see a maple syrup bottle as his back bumper sticker, or like right on the door, so it's like sticky. I'm gonna be sticking onto your door, you know. Well, here we go. Left for Stephen Hatcher, right for Alan Hines, and it looks like it's gonna be a one more time. And have
Yeah.
them go back to pits, switch up the tires, and get ready for the next this one more time battle. That's the great thing about Virgil. It doesn't take a long time for them to pit and get back up here.
Right. Yeah, we don't have the 5-minute repairs. We don't have the tire changes, we can just go right back to the next run.
We have some
Convenience
people.
at its finest.
We have some people talking about pretty much going into the sim community or getting into the sim realm. We're talking about going into like WTTS cars, like pretty much street cars, and working your way up to pro level cars, which is what these guys are going to be driving. Yeah, Alan Hines out here though, doing it with a huge Scandinavian flick and literally just hucks it into that first outer wall, just being an absolute animal. But here's Stephen Hatcher chopping on that door all the way through to outer zone 3 and going into outer zone 4. Beautiful transition from Allen, and my goodness, Hatcher is out there for the kill.
Yeah, he's on his game today. Allen absolutely on the line. Both of them going a little bit shallow here, but clipping through that wall. Love to see that. Perfect through the inner clip. Stephen Hatcher standing right there with him. And you know what? I can do that too. It's not just you, Allen. And then to this last zone, Stephen did cut that zone a little bit, but caught up nonetheless. Man, both of them showing some serious speed out here.
Yeah, just to quote a very well-known song from my youth, anything you can do, I can do better. Let's see if Alan Hines would say, you could say that, but let me get into your pocket and let me take all your center console change so I can pay for the tolls. So let's see how close proximity Alan is going to do on this one. That was really good chase.
Thank you for getting that song stuck in my head now, by the way. Thank you.
You're welcome. Here comes Stephen Hatcher in that BMW. Very nice initiation. But here's Alan Hines. Exactly doing what I thought he was going to do. Getting right close proximity, giving him some room so he could transition. Oh, that transition was buttery smooth. More smoother than any maple syrup that Stephen Hatcher can eat. Going all the way into the final two outer zones. Alan Hines getting doors and saying, I don't need some maple syrup. I just need Guinness.
Oh, I get it. Oh man, that initiation though. Perfect lead from Stephen and Alan saying, I will take advantage of that. I got that, no problem. Perfect for this zone 2. Great angle matching, great proximity. Man, I feel like a broken right here talking about how great these drivers are. Look at that angle matching though. And right on his door. Stephen just flowing right through it. Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say about negatives for those runs. Those were pretty amazing.
Yeah. And it looks like Alan Hines gets to win on that initiation, and we almost had to say put it in reverse, Terry. He was just on one on this track. That meme is hilarious. And there we go. We got Artie versus Wallman. Wallman's with that RX-7, and you got Artie with the 180. 180 SX has been well used throughout this series. Wallman is coming out here just with the RX-7. Very few people have been running the RX-7 in the series.
Yeah, it's not the easiest car to drive.
Getting people in chat thinking LZ will win it, and you might be right. Here he goes, Art of Chokov coming in with a nice initiation, and here comes Wallman, really struggling with that proximity with that RX-7. Artie just hucked it in there and said, "Your name is Wallman. I'm going to show you how to wall, man." Going all the way to outer zone 3, huge angle to outer zone 4, all the way to outer zone 5. Beautiful line from Artie, and finally Wallman was able to get close in that proximity.
Yeah, definitely struggling at first. See it flick like everything's gonna go good, and then he's instantly 2 cars behind, trying to catch up, missing the zone pretty much entirely. And then the line does clean up though. Good angle matching, looking like that formula drift angle matching. We'd love to see. Not exactly the drift master's proximity that we'd love to see though. Coming into that last zone, he does clean it all up. We'll see how Artie does with the chase.
Okay, Artie's rolling up to the line. You see him kind of staggering up, getting a running start, which you can do in the chase. I also saw in the chat, Tiny will win. No, that won't happen. So I'm here to let these guys know they are awesome and what they do. Here you go. Yeah, Wallman coming in with initiation with that RX-7. And then hucking it right to the wall, man. All the way into the outer zone 1. And here comes Artie laying down suppressing fire. Oh, mercy. Wallman just rode both walls. Huge angle on outer zone 3. And then hucking it right to the final outer zone. Looks like he was about to maybe understeer or straighten out. And there was some contact made towards the end.
Yeah, it looks like Artie really doing an impressive job of adapting to this slightly different line. Perfect initiation. Artie really taking advantage of that good lead here. Perfectly timed transitions. Artie surging right up to his door. And here we see Wallman taking a little bit of a wide line as they come back. And some contact, bumping Wallman into the wall, man. As Sandy says.
I heard you snicker when I say that, and I was trying to keep my composure. But slide him left for Wallman, slide him left or right for Chokov. Here's Artie, gets the win. Now 180. Wallman, you did a great job riding those walls, man.
Oh man.
Oh man. Here we go. We have Darius Austriaca. Darius the Don. Ostrich. Austriaca. I could never come up with a nickname for him because I love saying Darius Austriaca. It's just like it has a nice.
The ostrich. It's the ostrich.
The ostrich. Yeah, nah,
that's not very cool though.
Can you imagine an ostrich drifting with his head out the window? Anyway, Darius Austriaca in the lead, coming in with a nice initiation, goes to that first outer zone. Here comes David, keeping that proximity right off the rip, being super aggressive yet again, and going right to the pocket every time. Darius gives him that door all the way through this whole lap. Here's the final 2 outer zones, as David does a fantastic job as a chase driver.
Yeah, that was a fantastic chase. And a pretty smooth lead as well, as Darius comes right onto the wall, no issues, rides it all the way across. Perfect inner clip transition, but David is right on his door. There's no room to breathe. They come back for this last zone. Great angle matching too. Really snappy transition from Darius. Love to see that. I didn't really see many flaws in that run.
Yeah, well, now we have David Kaczmarczyk in the lead. Thanks, Patrick. I appreciate you. And Darius Austriaca in the chase. Beautiful guy. Beautiful transitions from both of them. Very good chase. But we know how Darius gets down and dirty. He'll stick his ostrich neck out so he could latch onto that door and stay close to him. But here's David coming in with a beautiful initiation. And speaking of latching onto that door right off initiation, Darius is keeping that proximity right off the rip. Now the transition is buttery smooth. David, a little bit of a bobble on outer zone 2, but beautiful transition going to outer zone 3 and 4. Oh my goodness. And Darius is just right there rubbing his tire on the door, letting him know he's there.
Yeah, no problems keeping up at all from Darius. David, beautiful initiation, beautiful S15. A little bit shallow there, to be honest, but he gets right back in the pocket. No more hesitations after that. Quick transition into the next zone. Both drivers clipping that bumper. Perfect. Again, perfect. In the last transition, Darius coming right up to his door, pushing him across the line, seeing him go a little bit faster. Love to see it.
Oh, I think I got his nickname.
What is it?
Don't worry. No.
Oh, okay.
We'll see if he moves on.
I gotta be surprised when you say it.
Yep. I might forget though. Anyway, go to VDM.gp to check out all the sim stuff. Also follow the Drift Masters socials on X, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And it looks like David gets the win. Darius, the daring Austriaca, wasn't daring enough, but we'll see how he does like in the next round. I think I like that. Yeah, that has a good ring to it. Darius, the daring Austriaca, Daredevil. He's always trying to get people's doors. The way he drives, like I love how he drives. Very consistent and almost robotic. I feel like he's an AI at times.
He spends a lot of time on the sim, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, but it's a big surprise on Darius getting knocked down to the top 32, and it looks like the judges are saying that when Darius was in the lead, he was a little bit over rotating on outer zone 4, so it was difficult to chase. So that's where the decision came to. Now we got Daniel Andreev in the lead, and Cameron, the spicy mustard, in the chase. Here we go. Daniel Andreev coming in with that 180, as well as Cameron Mustard. A 180 SX battle. Cameron Mustard dives so forward in the pocket, and Daniel Andreev is filling out first outer zone. Probably a huge decel from Daniel that forced Cameron to kind of surge forward in the pocket, but beautiful transition from Daniel, being super consistent on each snap to angle throughout this whole lap.
Yeah, that was very consistent out of Daniel. Pretty typical. It's like a perfect angle match for the initiation. But then once they get to the zone, Cameron does kind of fall out of it, come back with a bobble. And then you see him clean it up here as he pulls right up to his door. Snappy transition from Daniel. Super quick. Another snappy transition. And then across the line. I love seeing how these cars move differently because of the different tunes they put on them.
Oh yeah.
Some drivers' cars just move different.
For sure. And yeah, we had a question in chat: are any of these drivers pros in real life? And there are a couple of the drivers from the Drift Masters. One of them that comes right off the name is Powell, is one driver, as well as Eddie Husa does some. I want to say pro-am level or pro level in his country, but we're not right now. We're in this. Yeah, Alan Hines. I didn't even think of that. I don't know why, but we have Cameron Mustard in the lead, going out to the first outer zone, right in the outer wall. And here's Daniel Andreev keeping that proximity as close as possible. in each of these zones, but Cameron Mustard's lead run is so silky smooth all the way through to that final outer zone, but Daniel Andreev was on him like brown sugar on Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm just trying to get my composure. Cameron looking like a perfect line through this first zone, and really impressive. Daniel not giving him any room to breathe though, as he keeps right on him. Looks like a really consistent proximity, a little bit of difference in angle there, but you go for the proximity, and Daniel definitely has it. Great lead though. It's hard to say great chase without giving a couple compliments to the lead that makes it possible, you know.
Got you. And it's looking like the judges have come to a decision. Right for Mustard, left for Daniel Andreev. And Mustard gets the win. Looks like that initiation right off the rip. Well, we saw how Mustard was very far forward in the pocket. It was really slow and difficult for the chase driver. But Cameron Mustard is moving on.
Let's go Mustard.
Yeah, trying to get his mustard on his bread for his sandwich.
Absolutely.
You a spicy mustard guy or you're a yellow mustard guy?
Like I'm not. I'm on a hot dog. If I had to pick one, probably spicy mustard for sure. Never been big on regular mustard.
Now, is a hot dog a sandwich?
No. No, it's not.
You and Adam LZ share the same opinions, and Google says it is a sandwich. Linus Turnquist in the lead. Wojciech in the chase. There's Linus Turnquist going all the way through and transitioning into that first outer zone. Initiating in that first outer zone. Linus Turnquist does a great job riding that bumper and wing on that first outer wall. Here comes Wojciech with that BMW coming in really spicy and aggressive, using that proximity game to his full advantage throughout this whole lap.
And a little bit of tap across the finish line. We love to see that. It's like really smooth initiation. Again, missing that first part of the zone. We've seen that a lot today. Very common for these drivers. They make a transition at the exact same time. Perfect angle matching. A little bit of shallow across there, but we keep that proximity. And then a little bit of a love tap saying, we can go faster if you want. Yeah. See how they do on the flip.
The flippy floppies. Never have flip-flops when you walk in Disney, because if it rains, then you sound like Squidward walking around. But here we go. Wojciech in the lead. Linus Turnquist in the chase.
What?
Wojciech coming in with a nice initiation. Red Bull is great going into that first outer zone. Linus Turnquist is keeping that proximity through into that inside clip one. And Wojciech is doing a great job filling each zone, keeping a mid-line on some of the zones, but here he's filling it out towards the last two zones, using that proximity, a little wall tap at the end as well.
Yeah, it looks like Linus might have struggled with the chase a little bit, same way we saw Wojciech struggle in the first run. Perfect initiation from Wojciech, staying right in that zone. Linus with a little bit of bobble, but doing what he can to stay there, giving him a bit too much room on the transition, but he catches up nonetheless. Wojciech, lots of angle coming through here. Great lead line as he taps the wall going across.
We have the judges looking at the replay, seeing what's good in Finland.
You ever been Finland?
No. I actually want to go to Finland. I want to go to Ireland.
Yeah, for sure.
Would love to go there. But right for Wojciech, left for Linus. It looks like Wojciech gets the win and moves on. Grade 8.
Yeah, he was clean. Lots of angle, really clean transitions, and good driving out of him.
Oh, here we go. We're gonna have our next lineup. Oh, cue the music. Cue the walk-up music. You're gonna have Sam Cudy versus Simon Sandman. So, I'd love watching Simon Sandman drive. Seen him in different series like Super Drift and the multiple different series. He's so fun to watch.
Absolutely.
Everybody has their different styles and different flavors. You know, some people like sriracha, some people just like salt. So you're looking at him. He's a mix of both worlds, baby. Here comes Sam Cudy with a huge initiation going to that first outer zone. And here's Sandman coming in, getting super close, trying to sprinkle that sleep dust into the eyes of Sam Cudy into outer zone 2 and 3. But he is letting him know he is there, and he's going to not let him escape his sight throughout this whole lap.
Wow, what a chase here. What an initiation, too. We see Sam Cudy with that classic big Scandinavian flick as he comes up against the wall. Sandman giving him no room to breathe. Transition, and again, right up against his door. Perfect angle matching there. Absolutely robotic. Sam Cudy with a little bit more angle as they come back across the finish line. Great proximity. Yeah. Sam Cudy's fun to watch, man. That's for sure.
You know, Sam Cudy, like, every time I say his name, I think of the song Day and Night.
Day and Night.
Yeah. Isn't
Sorry,
it? Anyway. Simon Sandman in the lead. Beautiful initiation. Getting that nice midline. Now he's filling it out. And here comes Sam Cudy going into Sandman and is trying to figure out if it's going to be day or night. Going right to that proximity to that door, loses proximity on the transition. Simon Sandman's coming in to the final 2 outer zones. Snap right to angle on the final 2 outer zones like a straight baller.
Yeah, you see him put on the brakes there because he was so close at the end. That was awesome. You see him kind of mimicking the same type of initiation here, saying I can do that too. Simon Sandman stands right on the same line. Jeez, these guys are good. We see him surge up to that 3rd outside zone. Quick transition, a little bit of a gap there, but he sucks it up, no problem. I still got it, and then surges right on for that last zone. I don't want to judge this one. I'm not even going to try. We'll let the judges do their thing. Both a couple super aggressive drivers and a couple of super orange liveries.
That orange, I love that orange.
Right, that's nice. Safety orange.
It's like not too bright, but not too like mellow.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
It's just like go to a tree in Florida. I know you don't have trees in Alaska, but go to a tree in Florida and there's a ripe orange. Like perfect that you could have in your mouth. I need to send you oranges, man.
Yeah, that I would really appreciate that because one thing we don't have is fruit trees up here. All our fruits.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about it is I don't have to worry about like it being so hot. You know, it'd be frozen by the time it gets to your house.
Yeah.
You don't have trees in Florida, only palms. It's called a palm tree, Byron. Sir. In Finland, we have trees. And in Alaska, too, I guess.
Yeah, we got lots of trees in Alaska. No orange trees, though. I wish.
But I know in Finland and the other European countries, they do a lot of ice drifting. But Alaska, do you guys do that at all?
Oh, yeah, we do. And it's a good time. We get a couple people with the trucks with the little plow on the front and then make out a little track, spray paint some lines on it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good time, go and wreck our cars.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good time for me. But one, I don't like the cold. even though I lived in the mountains of Pennsylvania, but I like the warm, I like the heat, but New Jersey was too hot this last weekend.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I can't do that heat.
Oh, I love the heat. And we have Stupid Fast Gaming saying, I love you, Tiny. I love you too. I love every one of you there in the chat. We had a peak of so many people watching, so I don't even have the viewer count up. But we have a split decision. Simon Sandman gets the win. And it looks like with the judges, Simon made mistakes on initiation, but Samuel made more mistakes in the rest of the track. So Simon is moving on, putting so much sleep fairy dust into people's eyes throughout the track and just putting out Slayer runs.
Yeah, see what you did there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now we have, oh man, I feel bad for the judges on this one. You have Reese Tatterson versus Ernestus Jakubellis. Reese Tatterson is actually a dope dude to talk to, and first time I ever commentated, he was one of the guys that commentated, and he made a mistake, and I never let him live it down. So we have Ernestus Jaku coming in with a nice initiation, but here comes Reese Tatterson using the same left foot brake to keep that proximity, and then slipping and sliding around the car like he's Mike Tyson and doing the peekaboo tactic throughout this whole lap. Oh my goodness, that was smooth.
Yeah, he looked totally unaffected by those bumps that Reese Tatterson was giving him as we see this initiation moving no punches. You know, I thought that was contact. Maybe it wasn't, though. Reese just got real close and put on the brakes. He keeps that proximity going, not holding back at all. Quick transition from Jaku's. Very, very snappy, and again, snappy. Reese staying right on its door. I predict a pretty similar run coming in the second half here. Both these drivers, incredible.
Probably having the spot in his ear. He's like, he just doored you. You need to do that back, right? You don't let him do that to him. Jaku doing a little jump. So he can stay in close proximity with Reese Tatterson. Reese Tatterson coming in with a nice initiation, beautiful weight transfer, and then puts the bumper to the wall. And looks like he possibly made some contact with that wall, but it didn't affect him too much. Beautiful transition from Reese. Jaku sits back a little bit and then dives right back into the pocket, trying to stay as close as possible.
Yeah, I'm curious as to what happened there when it looks like Jaku fell back a little bit. Is Reese just that fast or what? Super aggressive initiation. He's literally scraping his bumper against the wall, lots of angle. Jaku surges right up to him, gives him a little room for the transition, and then something happens. He falls a car length behind, but it doesn't slow him down at all for the next zone because he catches back up. Reese just flowing through that last zone, guys, smooth.
Man.
You mentioned that YouTube video that earlier with Reese where he goes and drives Peter's car. Yeah, that was awesome.
That was a cool experience. And we have a judge's decision, and it looks like Reese Tatterson gets a win, moves on, and that's a huge blow to the team that Jaku, Darius, and Martinez are a part of. Darius and Jaku have been on podiums throughout this whole series, so it's gonna probably shake up the leaderboards. It's gonna be a super exciting run because we're gonna have our next battles coming up. And it looks like Vitaly versus Nick Hang. Hanging it all out on the track, letting everybody know he's going to be hanging on to your door. So here we go. Vitaly AF. The chase, 180SX battle. Beautiful initiation from Vitaly. And goes right into the wall, riding that bumper, filling out that first outer zone as best as possible that you can. But it looked like a possible contact on transition or a weird swap to angle. But Vitaly is filling out each zone right now. And then another little tappy tap from Nick Hang.
Yeah, it looked like something happened there on that second zone or third zone. I'm not sure. It's like Nick Hang's a little bit slow to the initiation, but does get into it. It's like, all right, now I got the hang of it. And I'm not sure if he got hung up there or lost in the smoke, but he has no problem with his next zone. And Vitaly looks like he might have slowed a little bit on that last zone, but if anything, it just helped Nick gain that proximity back. Let's see how Vitaly can do on the chase.
I see you're getting the hang of commentating over Nick Hang. So many puns he made with his last name. So here we go.
Did I?
Yeah.
See, when I do it, it's not intentional, though. That's the difference.
I was giggling in the background, but here we go. Nick Hang in the lead. Vitaly in the chase. Vitaly coming in with a nice initiation and the chase to try to gain that proximity. Nick Hang is just absolutely just slaying that first outer zone. Driving into inner clip 1, rubbing that back bumper outer zone 2. Nick Hang transitions. Huge angle into outer zone 3 and 4. All the way to the final outer zone. Nick Hang was very, very consistent, but that huge angle he made on that final transition was insane.
Yeah, look at how quick he started drifting off the line almost right away as he stays in the zone all the way around. Vitaly kind of adjusting to it looks like. Surging right up to his door, copying what Nick did. Massive angle from Nick there through that zone and almost pulling away from Vitaly.
Like we are getting the judges' decision shortly. Big thank you to MetaPro and G2X to help sponsor this series. Loving the support they're giving us. Also follow the social medias, Driftmasters GP on X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of them. Follow all of them. Also use code VDM in the Driftmasters merch store. Gets 15% off. Definitely an awesome, exciting experience. After this battle, I'm taking a break as well. It's going to be a 4-minute break for everybody to kind of go potties. But it looks like Vitaly getting the win and moving on. Man, these battles have been absolutely insane. These guys have been going absolutely bonkers on this track. I've been loving the competition that they've been doing. And what are you thinking, Jacob?
Man, it's been nothing but exciting. Mm-hmm. I've been at a loss for words a lot of the time, just trying to come up with something to say. This bracket is absolutely crazy. That last battle with Vitaly was absolutely crazy. I'm excited to see the potential Sandman versus Tatterson, or who else could we have here?
They've battled before, Sandman versus Tatterson. That would be a crazy battle with this top 4. You have these guys just straight shredding, but it looks like well, we're seeing the G2A bracket right here. This lineup is insane for the sim community. Going all the way throughout this Driftmasters world. So, looks like we're going to be going into our grade 8 battles. We got Artem Chokov, Artie versus Alan Hines. Alan Hines is in the chase. Artie is in the lead. went out there and nice initiation. Used some left foot braking to tuck his back bumper into that wall, riding it all the way through. But here's Alan Hines in that proximity. A lot of elevation changes on this track, and my goodness, Alan Hines is using that nice manipulation of the clutch and using the proximity to his full advantage.
Man, it's never a lack of showmanship from Alan Hines as he comes into this initiation. A little bit shallow on that chase in this first zone. We've seen that a lot, but not phasing him as Artie comes into this next zone right onto the wall. And it looks like Artie did come into the dirt a little bit there. You see him bring it onto the track. And this last zone, Alan Hines, again, unfazed, standing right there with him.
Great to see how Alan Hines, when he gets that proximity, it's like a slow creep up compared to like a lurch forward, or like kind of like a
no surging. Yeah.
When I see surging, it's kind of like you're acting in desperation. Compared to Alan Hines, is just like stalking his prey, getting ready to just be a straight hyena and tear him up. That was right off the bat with the
okay. Yeah.
Alan, the hyena.
Yeah, let's see if that sticks, huh?
Yeah, we'll see if it sticks. It'll be weird if he laughs like a hyena, but anyway, we got Alan Hines in the lead. And Artie in the chase to see if he'll lay down some suppressing fire and pound the door of Alan Hines. Hines with a huge Scandinavian flick wins that first outer zone. We've been seeing this all day, just straight hucking it. And here comes Artie, just straight pow driving that door right off the rip and getting that proximity and straight aggressive driving from the chase. And Alan Hines is just so smooth. There's some more contact being made towards the end of that lap.
Yeah, we just talked about surging too. In that last zone, Artie might have done some perfect, crazy initiation from Alan. Wasn't sure that he'd make it, but he does, and finishes it all the way around that wall. As he comes up through this next zone, Artie giving him absolutely no room to breathe. And perfect lead, perfect chase through here, and a little bit of surging, a little bit of contact. Alan says, you know what, that does not bother me.
Yeah, and man, judges have the toughest job in the drift community, because some people might not like their judgment call, some people might love it, but it looks like we have a judge's decision, and it goes all the way to the left. Alan Hines gets the win and moves on.
I think that had to come down to Artie had a little bit of off track in that first run, and Alan did not. Still very impressive from both drivers.
Alan Hines' initiation is
white line to white line. Yeah.
It's been like I can't fathom the amount of testosterone that goes through his body to try to huck it like that. It's insane. And it's on the sim. He doesn't have to worry about repair jobs, and it's still like, it's beautiful to see. But we have David has Marshall versus Cameron Mustard. There he goes, Cameron Mustard with a nice, generous initiation, but goes right to angle and rubs his back bumper to that first outer wall, diving into that inner flip one. And here comes Cameron Mustard. A little close proximity to that wall in outer zone 2, and then snaps to outer zone 3, all the way to 4. Huge angle and holding it, but David is right there, being a straight baller.
Yeah, that looks like a really clean chase from David here. A little bit of slow on the initiation, but it does not bother him for the rest of the zone as he matches up that angle, gives him room for the transition, and comes right back to the door. Perfect. Cameron giving him a perfect lead, though. And for this last zone, very smooth coming up to him, no surging. That was good.
Good run from both of them.
Cameron's been driving a lot.
Cameron has been just awesome. Whatever he's in competition mode is just straight. And that's with a lot of the team that he's a part of. They're very straight, like cutthroat. And I'm going to win this competition no matter what it takes. So we have Cameron now in the chase. David Kaczmarczyk in the lead. This guy is coming to his lap. And David coming in with an initiation. Very conservative Scandinavian flick into that first outer zone. And here comes Cameron Mustard using that left foot brake to maintain that proximity. And David Kaczmarczyk rubs his bumper on outer zone 2, transitions beautifully into outer zone 3, but that's a tire drop going into outer zone 4 and riding it all the way through. Little tappy tap with the bumper on that final outer zone.
Yeah, that tire drop might be unfortunate for David. Cameron Mustard looks like he saw it and accounted for it as they do the same initiation here. Cameron kind of falling back there, maybe avoiding contact. Perfect through this inner clip. Cameron is sucking right up to David's door. Another great transition. David pulling away a little bit, but it looks like it bites him as he drops the tire and gets right back onto his line. Looks like Cameron might have saw that, oh, you know, he's going a little bit too fast. Backed off, and looks like an instant decision.
Second. Yep. Second decision, and I think that what sealed his fate, but Cameron Mustard gets the win and moves on. My goodness.
Cameron Mustard's on one today.
Yeah, Wojciech versus Simon Sandman. We got corrected by the viewers about Wojciech's name, but we gotta say whoa. Did you check that out?
What is
there
it?
There we go.
Wojciech?
It's based on the language difference. It probably most likely yes. But here we go. Right. Wojciech going in, and a nice initiation. But here's Sandman. And that nice proximity right off the rip. And getting all the way to the door of Wojciech. And transition is buttery smooth by Wojciech, but a little bit wide line going to outer zone 4. And then getting right to angle for 4 and 5.
Looks like a super clean lead run from Wojciech as he says, whoa, and gets into this first zone. Looks like Simon Sandman did hesitate a little bit, but nonetheless he's still here coming into the second zone. He's right there, not holding back at all. These guys are absolutely flying through this course as Wojciech has a really quick transition and Simon Sandman is right there with him. Not a lot of mistakes there.
No, but we'll see how they perform here in this battle. Simon Sandman going to be in the lead. Wojciech in the chase. Simon Sandman coming in with a beautiful, huge flick into that first outer zone. And Wojciech is getting right to the door. Simon Sandman letting him know. And going into outer zone 2, Simon wasn't fully in deep of outer zone 2, but he's going to outer zone 3 and 4 and filling it out as robotic as he has been doing throughout this whole competition.
Yeah, great driving there. It looks like he just kind of had to adjust for a second in the chase, saying, oh, I get what you're doing. All right, now I'm here. A little bit of contact there. Simon Sandman looking as quick and snappy as ever. Right on the wall in that beautiful orange livery. Staying right there with him and across the line. Really not much to say about these runs. Looking amazing.
Man. These guys, I'm so happy I drank a Red Bull before this because this got me amped up. I was excited to be here today and watching these guys drive. But even though Red Bull is good, the way these guys are driving, they're giving me that caffeine fix. So here we go. Right for Sandman, left for Wojciech, and Wojciech gets the win. Moves on. Beautiful performance from him.
Yeah, I think he might have just had a little bit more consistency. It's unfortunate for Sandman, but let's see what we got from Wojciech for the rest of this round. Wojciech.
That's gonna be Wojciech going into the semifinals. And we have Vitaly Isaf versus Reese Tatterson. Reese out here being cool, calm, collective, making sure his gear is working. Just, it's so funny to see some of these drivers. You know their reputation behind like each competition, and with like especially like with Reese, and it seems so methodical how Reese just rolls up to the line and just locks in, getting ready to compete with Vitaly. Vitaly does a nice initiation, has to use some left foot brake to suck his back end towards that wall. And then Reese Tatterson is very close in proximity, giving him some room. Looks like there was a very slow transition from Vitaly, but Reese is getting right there, surging a little bit forward in the pocket. Now zone 4 and 5 coming in and staying close proximity.
I don't know if Reese just gave him a little bit too much room in that one section there. Looks like a little bit different timing for the initiation here. Vitaly being all the way in the zone. Reese not quite doing everything he can though, as he gives him some room for the transition, but then doesn't come back. A little bit of gap there as well. Good angle matching though. Vitaly really snappy. Great lead run out of Vitaly. Looks like Reese was not ready for the speed in some sections, but we'll see how we do with Vitaly in the chase and Reese in the lead.
The final 4.
You got a nickname for Vitaly?
Vitaly?
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Oh, I got it. All right. Reese Tatterson coming in. Reese Tatterson, nice initiation to the first outer zone. And here comes Vitaly checking the vitals of Reese Tatterson. Going into inner clip 1. Beautiful. Going all the way through, being so rowdy. Looking like he possibly three-wheeled on the outer zone 2. But man, Vitaly is out here flatlining the competition.
Oh, that was good. Oh, looks like a great initiation from Reese to be perfect lead. Vitaly just taking advantage of it. Just enough room for the transition as he comes right back. We talked about not surging earlier. Vitaly's doing just that. We've seen none of the same issues that Reese had, keeping that proximity. Great chase run there.
Man, I don't know how I come up with these nicknames, but
I don't know how you do either.
They just flow, you know. Oh man, here we have the Alan Hines livery right there.
Yeah, that looks sick on that 8.6.
Yeah, man. Reese reps it proud in every competition he does. And insane to see the level of drivers we've been seeing throughout each round. These guys have been very, very proactive in the chats to try to figure out when the next track is coming out and when they can start practicing. They're very active on trying to get like right on top of it to practice for the next round, because this is a big step for them. Like this platform is not that many people get this type of platform in the sim community.
Absolutely. And these guys don't get much time to practice on these tracks.
No.
Not as much as we did in other competitions, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's some competitions that will release the track probably like 3 weeks.
Right.
I think they get about 2 weeks, a week before the round goes. And some of these guys, I know that personally, I know the AOM guys, they'll be practicing day in and day out, try to lock in the line, studying the track. Whenever I get the tracks, when these guys get the track, and I study the track layouts to try to figure out, all right, what's going to be the choke points? What's going to be the hardest thing about
Right.
the layouts, you know? Try to be as educated as possible on it. And just some of the tracks, it's like, how do you do this? Like for me, it's like the first like 3 days of trying to figure out how to do it. And then you got these guys after 2 hours, they're like, okay, I got the line. This is
They've
how
got
we're
it
gonna do it. This is
down.
gonna get.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you? You're a different breed, man. Different breed.
Yeah, this track is one that I struggled on personally a lot driving. It's not easy. It's not as easy as it looks, that's for sure.
Yeah, it really isn't. And these guys out here just straight figuring, like, the prize pool is crazy for the virtual drift masters. It's every round they get a prize. So I'll pull up. I don't know if the production is gonna be able to pull up the prizes. That would be awesome if they could. But huge prize pool. We'll get the exact numbers shortly, maybe. But yeah, they all get a prize for every round, and then the final competition. Oh, we're getting oh no, it looks like they're replaying the whole.
Oh, looks like we got a decision here.
Yes, it looks like we have a decision here. Vitaly gets the win, moves on, and they were debating on the contact. What's that call? So that is what sealed the fate for Vitaly. So, and it's looking like the transition was a little bit too late. But now we're gonna have Cameron Mustard gonna be in the lead.
This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, Cameron Mustard versus Alan Hines. We have 4 more rounds after this. Crowned the winner, Cameron Mustard, coming in with an initiation, huge initiation, wins that first outer zone, filling it out, being super aggressive. Alan Hines is right there with the proximity. Wins into clip 1, outer 2, beautiful from both drivers. Oh, a huge surge from Alan into Cameron and sends him right into the wall. Makes his car a John Deere tractor and then a missile right after that, going Mach Jesus into the wall.
That was bizarre to see from Alan. I'm curious as to what caused it. It's like absolute perfect chase there. Not too close, never giving a gap. A little bit of a surge there, but he's right on his door. And then it looks like he just doesn't get into angle. Could have been a connection issue from one of the drivers, but it didn't look like it to me.
Nah, I think it possibly a super like quick surge. Alan was trying to surge into the pocket of Cameron and probably surged way too hard on him. So we'll see. The judges are going to look at it closer. Of course, they always make sure that they make the right call on that kind of issue. So we have Alan Hines now in the lead. Cameron Mustard in the chase. Alan Hines has been doing an insane initiation every lap he does. Here we go. Alan Hines coming in. He comes in with a huge Scandinavian flick and then left foot brakes. Oh, contact with the wall. He was a little too spicy into that first outer zone. Oh, no.
This one's going to be short and sweet. It looks like we got the massive initiation from Alan. And just as soon as that wall starts, he makes contact. Just a little bit miscalculating that collider. That's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate for him. Now the judges are going to be looking to see who's. Well, that might have been the initiation that he caused himself. Right for Mustard, left for Hines. Mustard gets the win. Who's on? Representing them AOM boys. Beautiful sight to see. These guys have been just straight terrors out here. And it looks like Alan Hines will compete for third place. And we have Mustard, guaranteed spot in the podium.
Let's go, Cameron Mustard. Man, watching his progression this last year, just this last year, has been absolutely crazy.
Well, we have our next battle, our final four battle, where Vitali versus Jack coming in. Vitali been doing a great job being as a crucial part in this competition, and gets right into the door of Vitali, going into the inner clip. Beautiful transition from Vitali, and here comes Wojciech all the way in, losing proximity. Here comes the final transition to the final two outer zones, and Vitali does a banger of a job filling out each zone.
Yeah, I know he was right on this wall. Such a snappy transition. Both drivers getting all the way in the zone. Looks like he used Vitali to straighten out a little bit, saying, whoa, I need that for the angle. Loses a little bit of proximity here, a lot of proximity there, but catches it back up, uses this D-cell to his advantage, and across the line. Really smooth lead run. A little bit of inconsistencies in the chase, but nothing too major. Let's see what Vitali can do with the chase.
Vitali in the chase. Wojciech in the lead. Here he comes. Wojciech is super clean on that initiation, but here comes Vitali as they have all the way into that pocket. Wojciech is trying to hit each zone as best as possible. Use some left foot braking to kind of suck his back end into the wall, going all the way to the final outer zone, but Vitali is right there on his door, rubbing. Oh, the contact on the wall from Wojciech.
See if that's going to really play a factor in the indecision here. Looks like Vitali did come a little bit forward in the zone, but again, nothing too major. Right there with him, not seeing the same mistakes in the chase this run, as they both are just absolutely speeding through this course. And then a little bit of a surge there as he loses some angle and gives him a tap. I suppose we'll see who those mistakes fall on.
It's so, like, I don't want either of these drivers to lose or win or lose that technicality, but
right,
they have to do what they have to do for the championship, and it looks like it's going to Vitali Azaev. He's getting a guaranteed spot in the podium. Now is our third place battle. And then after that is our final battle. I'm very excited. These are 4 very aggressive, very calculated drivers. You have Alan Hines versus Wojciech. Alan Hines did make that mistake earlier. So, yeah, Wojciech going to be in the lead. Alan Hines is going to be in the chase right off the rip. Alan Hines did lose that previous battle due to him initiating a little too spicy and making contact with the wall. But I love it when drivers go out there and just send it. Here we go. Wojciech coming here. That BMW. Alan Hines in the chase, coming in with a nice proximity right off the rip. Wojciech just laying it all out there, keeping that nice proximity to that wall. But here's Alan Hines giving him some room, transitioning into Wojciech. Wojciech angles up now to go into outer zone 3. Beautiful angle. Outer zone 4. And man, Alan Hines is just analyzing each movement Wojciech does.
Yeah, Wojciech putting down an amazing lead line now. Hines absolutely taking advantage of it. Looks like them both exactly in the same spot in the zone. Alan Hines with exactly the same angle. Super smooth through here, not doing the surge, but getting them smooth up to the proximity. And again for the last zone, both drivers being really snappy there. Alan Hines showing him, you know, I might be in 3rd place here. You might be in 3rd place. Either way, very impressive.
Yeah. You have Alan Hines in the lead. Wojciech in the chase. Wojciech is giving Alan Hines some room. Alan just coming in with a nice initiation. Able to lock in that initiation compared to the previous battle he had. Being able to dive into that inner clip. Oh my goodness. Outer zone 2 is filled out from Alan Hines. Here comes Wojciech trying to keep that proximity, giving him some room for that transition and match an angle in the final 2 outer zones.
Yeah, let's see if Wojciech can do the same thing that Alan Hines did in the chase here. He's definitely a little bit shallower on angle, but Alan Hines had a bit of a bobble as well. Really smooth transitions. Wojciech staying right there with him, but falling back a little bit of a bobble. And again for the last zone, a little bit less consistency than Alan Hines had in the chase, I must say. Awesome visual of both these cars.
You guys are out there just slaying, dude. Great. And it looks like Alan Hines gets 3rd place. Wow. Great competition from Alan Hines. So with these competitions, someone asked about the prize pool. 3rd place gets, what was it, 500? Hold on, let me double check. $1,500 for 1st place. $1,000 euros. 2nd place is 1,000. I believe it's 500 for 3rd.
Wojciech, sorry, Patrick. Sorry.
Wojciech is better. He does whoa things, man.
It's too bad it's not Wojciech, honestly.
Man, I say Cameron Mustad, and that's not the right way to say it, but it's fun to say it, you know? And then you got Vitaly, the Vitals, Isaf. I don't know how to say his last, but let's see if Vitaly will set the track ablaze. This is a final battle for 1st and 2nd place. Here's Cameron Mustard representing AOM, getting that proximity right off the rip. And then giving him some space after that inner clip. Transition is good. Vitaly is bringing life to the track. A little bit of contact from Cameron Mustard on the transition. Going to outer zone 4 and 5. And here comes Cameron Mustard going all the way through that track.
Man, these guys looking like they're showing absolutely no nerves. I'm nervous just watching, honestly. These guys driving like it's just any casual day. Perfect in these zones. A little bit of contact there from Cameron. Not upsetting Vitaly at all, though. They come back from that transition, perfect angle, on the same exact line. Man, great chase from Cameron, but a great chase means can only mean one thing, you know.
Yeah.
That's a great lead.
All right. The final lap, possibly, for this round. Cameron Mustard in the lead. Vitaly, the vitals, Isaf in the chase, and here we go. Cameron Mustard coming in here. Art of Motion livery coming in with a nice initiation, filling out that first outer zone, rubbing that back bumper. But here comes Vitaly giving some vital signs, saying I'm going down and going out without a fight, going all the way through outer zone 3. Buttery smooth from both drivers. Cameron Mustard is being super spicy throughout this whole track, and Vitaly is bringing it to life.
I already know this is going to be a tough one. Great initiation from Vitaly, staying right there with the Mustard. As he transitions back for the second zone, Vitaly speeds right up to him, not giving him any room to breathe. Little bit of difference in angle there. Vitaly shallowing a little bit, and Cameron not. And across the finish line, smooth as butter, smooth as mustard.
So, first place gets 1,500 euros. Second place gets 1,000 euros. Third place gets 500 euros.
Can we have a dollars translation for that one?
There's Google. So
I'm on it.
Most of these guys are Europeans, and they run, well, it's a European competition, which we respect. It is awesome. There also is a special grand prize for the champion winner. They get a trip for two, a hotel, VIP tickets, and drift taxi experience in the Poland round in September. And that's the final round of Drift Masters. So you
That's
win
the
this,
crazy
you
one.
get,
Yeah.
That's a grand prize going there. That's awesome. Trip for two. And then the total prize pool for this competition is 21,000 euros. It's insane. I love seeing this kind of stuff in here. These guys have been absolutely stellar, awesome drivers, great people to talk to. If you've never have been a part of sim community, or even experienced just hanging out with the guys and just talking about cars and laughing. For example, Cameron Mustard just posted in the in-game chat. You guys can't see it. He goes, "How did I end up being here?" So it's fun. It's so fun to see these guys just being so human and loving each experience. Vitaly is an absolute gangster of a driver. The guys in the AOM guys, a lot of these drivers, I see them in the ACS servers. It's pretty cool to see, and it's always a great and chill vibe. Even when doing DCGP with you, it's fantastic to hang out with y'all. Definitely check out the social medias of Virtual Drift Masters. We want to also thank the G2A and MetaPro for the main sponsor of this competition. Before we get the final judges decision for this competition, seeing who gets first place, gets second place. These guys are probably sweating bullets right now. Vitaly Isaf is probably checking his own vitals. It's crazy. But looking super clean with all their liveries. They put a lot of effort, and it looks like we have a judge's decision. Who's getting first place? Slide him left for Mustard. Slide him right for Vitaly. And it looks like Cameron Mustard gets the win and pulls a fourth place podium position for the Art of Motion community. And we have Vitaly Isaf in second place. Beautiful competition from these guys. These guys are absolutely insane. And from the judges' decision, it was a lead versus lead, and Cameron Mustard had a better lead run. Beautiful beautiful culmination of talent today. This track is going to be insane. I could only imagine in IRL how this is going to play out for these actual drivers that are getting involved with the whole competition. I get some chills sometimes whenever I see these guys. This is the G2A top 32 bracket. You see the results here, and this is how, man, I'm excited for the whole competition. You see Jaku and Darius Austriaca are in first and second place. That's the Urarte team. Jaku has been slain out here. Daniel Andreev is there. Zach O'Sullivan is in fourth place. David is there. Now we have the top 32 standings. Cameron Mustard gets 100 points. Sally Isaiah gets 80 points. And Alan Hines gets 64 points. Yeah, we were talking about how that knockout in the top 32 from some drivers has been insane, but we are at round 3. Round 4 will be in July 12th through 14th. So we streamed the top 32 battles. Craig, my co-host for my partner in crime, for round 1 and 2 is going to be back, but I want to thank my man Jacob, thanks for coming out.
And it's been great being here.
Yeah,
I'm so glad they asked me to do this. Yeah, this has been fun.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, do you want Jacob?" I'm like, "That's the dude from Alaska. Hell yeah, let's get him on board." I had to catch a red eye. I was at an event and I literally zoomed home, drank this big can of Red Bull. I think about a small can and a big can. Got myself hyped up, excited for you guys. Jacob, it was an absolute pleasure for you being here.
Hell yeah, man! It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been nothing but fun. What an event, right?
Yeah. And I want to thank every one of you guys. Thank you, the sponsors, G2A, MetaPro, for supporting this competition, getting us here. Thank you so much. Drift Masters, you guys are awesome for letting us be a part of your community in the sim world and actually transitioning from real life to virtual. So I want to thank all of you guys hanging out with us. And remember, always get doors and have fun. I'll see you in July.
Thank you.